Alright guys, so the new firmware for the Sony XAV-AX5000 is out. I'm about to do it in just a sec. There are three updates that they talk about. One is fixing the noise and clipping when you have your high pass filter turned on, which is something that I saw, so I'm glad they fixed that. The second is that they fixed some sort of noise with the Sirius XM radio. I can't test that since I don't have the module for that, but I'll take their word for it. And the third item is apparently they fixed the area for the presets, so I'm guessing that they made these little buttons bigger. So we'll see what that looks like now. So we'll start the update. Home, settings, general, firmware, update. All right, we're gonna try this again. For some reason it didn't want to work the first time. I re-downloaded the firmware from the Canadian site because I have a Canadian unit. I don't know if that makes a difference. The files look the same, but we're gonna try it. It seems to be working now. So we're going down to firmware version, hit update. Now it sees a new version on the USB key, which is plugged into USB 1. It has to be 1. And we're gonna hit update. And it says this is gonna take 5 minutes or so. So you can see the USB key flashing away there. It's doing its work. So I'm not gonna go through all the instructions for the firmware upgrade. Go to the website, follow the instructions. Don't break your system. It recommends leaving the car on so you have power all the time, your car doesn't shut off, so I'm doing that. But definitely read through the instructions before doing the update. Alright, so it says disconnect from USB 1 and plug it into USB 2, which is what it says in the instructions as well, so we'll see how that goes. And like it said, it was going to continue automatically, and it did after I plugged it into USB 2. So here we go. Okay, so the instructions said it was going to reboot multiple times, and it didn't. It just reboot once, and it looks like I'm already on the right version, which is pretty awesome. One thing that I noticed right away, and I don't remember seeing before, is this XM radio reset button. That wasn't part of the changelog, but it's there, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so one of the fixes they said was they increased the size of the presets. To me they look the same, like the same size. They don't look any different. They seem to respond the same, so maybe it's something like a hidden area that you can't see, that they increase the touch area, but it seems to be working fine, so that's good. Okay, so for me this is the moment of truth. The one bug that I had on this deck that apparently they fixed in the firmware was to see if there's still a cutoff or clipping or noise when you have the high pass turned off. So I had made another video about this, so you can check that one out. But basically it was, if you ever had the crossover turned on, the high pass, you would get a nasty kind of a clipping or poppy noise unless you turned on the DSO to something other than off. So we should hear it as soon as I turn this off, and we'll see. So everything sounds good now. Sorry for the shaky video. So if I turn it off, nope, it's gone. Yeah, that static's gone. You definitely would hear it by now. It's super annoying. Yeah, that's awesome. So they fixed it. That's great. That was a big bug for me, and that's great. Although to be honest, I've kind of gotten used to the DSO being turned on, and it sounds great. So I may actually leave it on. But kudos to Sony for fixing the issue. Awesome. Other than that, the rest of the firmware looks exactly the same as far as I can see. I don't see any other options. I know everyone's been looking for new wallpaper, but looks like they still have the standard options. So hopefully that'll change, with another firmware. Fingers crossed. I just leave it on red because it matches the rest of the car. All right, thanks guys. Take care.